Again. So Sadie, let's go ahead and start out with why dental, vision, and hearing plans.
Sure, absolutely. So the very first point here, we probably all know this, but Medicare does not cover dental, vision, and hearing. They only cover things that are medically necessary. There are some circumstances in which they might cover some dental things, procedures, whatever it is, but those are very extreme cases and very far and few between.
Yeah, I mean, Medicare is going to do whatever it can to not cover those. So things like blood infection due to a bad tooth, or something going wrong where your vision is cataracts. It's a great example of that. But most services for dental, vision, and hearing will not be covered by Medicare.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that right off the bat. We all know that. But down to our second point, it is the #1 most requested ancillary product, which isn't surprising because people are used to having it. So especially that crowd that's coming off of group insurance, they're going to want dental, vision, and hearing most likely, or at least want to hear their option because they're used to having it.
They're very familiar with it. It is not a strange concept. Thanks to what dentists have done in the past several decades, they've talked about how you have 2 dentist appointments a year. You have 2 checkups per year, every 6 months. And so this is something that people are familiar with, and it's a policy that they're much more likely to use. You hope people don't use their cancer plan. They very rarely will use a hospital indemnity plan, just extreme procedures. So a dental plan is something that they are familiar with and will actively use.
And Medicare doesn't necessarily deem it medically necessary because you don't need to eat well, see well, or hear well to stay alive, but your dental health in the long run takes a toll on the rest of your health, your overall health. So like I was saying earlier, I had a grandmother that passed away due to like dental complications. Her situation was a little more complicated, but when it came down to it, that's what it was. If it affects, it can cause strokes, it can cause brain infections, it can cause heart infections. It's so much more than just taking care of your pretty teeth, getting dentures. It's taking care and maintaining a good, healthy body overall as well.
Yeah.
So if people don't have coverage, that means they might not be going to the dentist. They might not be taking care of their teeth, and well, that can affect their overall health.
Literally affects everything. And then last but not least, something that's extremely important to you as an agent is the extra income it provides to you as an agent for an ancillary product. Remember, you pay for all of your expenses through that core product sale, the Medicare Supplement and Medicare Advantage plan. Any ancillary sale after that is pure profit because, again, your expenses come out of that core sale. Even more important than what the extra income is from that initial sale is actually going to be the retention. We are all super familiar with the LIMRA study that came out in 2012 that talked about loyalty of a client is directly correlated to the amount of policies they have with the agent. One policy with you, so like a MediSup or Medicare Advantage plan, they're less than, between 30 to 35% likely to stick with you as a client. It means that they're very likely to call that donate myth ad. If they have 2 policies with you, that jumps up to between 50 and 60% likely to keep you as their agent. 3 or more policies, it does jump up to about 93% likely to stay loyal to you. So a good DVH policy and having multiple policies with one client is what creates what we call a sticky client. Okay. Now, we talked about that a little bit more. A lot of people break down what ancillary products they sell based on the core product, and dental, vision, hearing is no different.
So we have it broken down here, obviously, is Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage. Let's look at that left side. Medicare supplements, yes, you need that dental, vision, and hearing product because it's not going to, because Medicare doesn't cover it, it's not going to cover it. There's no coverage whatsoever with Medicare supplements.
And keeping in mind too, why do people buy Medicare supplements? People buy Medicare supplements oftentimes because they don't want to worry about the out-of-pocket expenses. They're willing to pay a little upfront premium for that ease of being able to go where they want to go and have coverage and not have surprise bills coming in the mail. The same reasons why a client would buy a Medicare supplement translate 100% to why they would like to have a dental, vision, hearing plan. Keep in mind, dental, vision, hearing plans, yes, they cover routine procedures like eye care, they cover glasses, they cover dental cleanings and x-rays, but you aren't necessarily buying these policies to cover these routine things. You're buying them to cover the main things, like the things that they're not expecting. hearing aids, needing of dentures, crowns, bridges, having to have significant eye procedures done. That's why they're buying this insurance. It's not just to cover the daily stuff. And if they want just that, then a discount program would work. This is true insurance to cover the big stuff. Same reason why people purchase a MedSup over a Medicare Advantage plan. Now, there's a huge misconception that if somebody has a Medicare Advantage plan, then they don't need a dental plan because it comes with that MA plan.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so it really just depends. It depends on the person as well. Not only just the plan, it depends on the person. Most of the time, not always, but most of the time, standalone plans are just going to have better coverage than a Medicare Advantage. But some Medicare Advantage plans don't have the best dental coverage. So if you're fact finding and you're finding out that your client really prioritizes their dental health, their vision, their hearing, you might still want to set them up with a standalone dental plan because that's something that's important to them. And the Medicare Advantage just might not give them enough security in that area that they're looking for.
So truly, for that answer, it's plan by plan and person by person. Dental or Medicare Advantage plans have come a phenomenal ways in the past 3 to 5 years to really boosting those dental and vision and hearing benefits. It used to be that they only covered routine cleanings and sometimes x-rays, but if you needed anything in addition to that, then you were going to be on your own. Definitely not the case anymore with some plans. So again, there is no blanket statement of, does this client on this Medicare Advantage plan need a DVH? You have to, again, fact find, like Sadie mentioned, you have to fact find out what's important to them, and then also see what does their current Medicare Advantage plan cover as far as DVH is concerned. Keep in mind, dental, vision, and hearing plans have no underwriting. So it does give you the opportunity to have something added on later if they're on a Medicare Advantage plan and they switch to a new one that's maybe their benefits are a little lackluster compared to what they would like. So you can add it on later. What you can't do in most of the cases is add it on when it's too late. We'll talk about that when it comes to carriers here in a little bit.
Yep. So now speaking of fact finding, so you're convinced, let's say, and you're ready to bring it up with your client. How do you do that? Well, the first place is that fact finding. You're getting to know them. You're finding out what's important to them. You're finding out their history, especially, we've said it before, but if they're leaving that group coverage, letting them know that, hey, now that you're moving over to this side, you're not going to have that dental coverage unless you get this standalone dental plan. Letting them know. You can't just assume that people know that Medicare doesn't cover dental.
They don't. Yes. The average consumer has no idea. Most agents I've worked with, especially agents who are new, had no idea that Medicare did not cover dental, vision, and hearing benefits. So if a lot of agents don't know that, you best believe your clients have no idea. They're going to go to the dental counter to pay for the dental counter. I don't know what it's called. The office?
Sure.
The receptionist. They're going to go there and try to pay for it, hand them their Medicare card. When the provider tells them, sorry, we don't accept Medicare, the SOB in this case scenario is going to be you, the agent, because you didn't tell them that wasn't an option for them.
So being the advisor that you are, you're going to let them know, you're going to bring that up in that fact-finding process. And then also the scope of appointment. It's on the scope of appointment. It sets up the conversation for you.
A lot of people have demonized and been really frustrated with the scope of appointments, and I get it. It is an extra step between you and a sale. Like, I fully understand. If you change your mindset a little bit, a scope of appointment is actually one of the best cross-selling tools I have seen out there, because what it is a form that CMS or the government requires a client to fill out, but it lets the client know what their options are without you pushing a product. It lets them know in the fact-finding portion that, hey, the government says that because these are CMS-sponsored plans, you need to sign it to give me permission, but they also recommend that we talk about these other plans because of holes in coverages. It's a really easy way to kind of put that blame on the government or put that blame on CMS as we really do need to discuss these other options. That way you're being truly an advisor and not pushing product that it seems unnecessary.
Now, mailers. This is the only point that we'll hit on as far as marketing for dental goes, but this is a really great way. Dental is, mailers are the most common, probably the most popular way to market dental, vision, and hearing. You can let a lot of people know on a widespread scale that you offer dental just just putting it in their minds through mailers.
Mailers, any type of lead source, and mailers not being an exception to that. Mailers fall into kind of two camps, two different types of mailers to send out. If you're purely prospecting, meaning that you're marketing to people who don't know who you are, you've never had a conversation with, mailers are a great lead source, but you have to make sure you use a mail house like ARM Leads or Lead Concepts. The reason for that is because they just get simply a better return. A Medicare mailer will get about a 1 to 2% rate of return, meaning that if you send out, to 1,000 mailers, you're not going to get a ton of those back. If you send out a mailer about dental, vision, and hearing benefits, that actually jumps up between 5 and 8%. So instead of fishing with a hook, you're fishing with a net. You're getting a lot more prospects, a lot more bang for your buck, because again, it's a low risk product, no underwriting, low premium, and everybody's familiar and know how they work. So it takes less explanation and less trust for you. It makes it the perfect door opener product. Now, if you are working with a current book of business and you're wanting to let your book of business know that you can, incorporate dental, vision, hearing benefits into their policies, that is what we would recommend using something called AMP. Agent Marketing Portfolio. It's something that is available to all of our agents that have at least one contract with Senior Marketing Specialist, but it's marketing pieces that are customized to your name, logo, headshot, contact information, and it has information to help you let people know that you offer these plans. There's postcards, flyers, mailers, leave behinds. So there's a lot of really great stuff on there to, again, let your current book of business know that DVH is something you're able to offer them.
Now, on the flip side, selling it. Thankfully, dental, vision, and hearing is very easy to sell. There's a few reasons for that. One of them, it's really easy to understand. There's not too much explanation that goes into that. People know how that works. They've had it their whole lives. They understand dental. And then also, you can just sell right from the brochure as well. Have that piece of paper right out in front of them. They can see it. It's quite easy to sell.
Well, it's easy to identify somebody who might be interested in it. Do they have eyes? Do they have ears? Do they have teeth? Do they want them insured?
Sure.
I mean, there's very few cases. I talk about, if you talk to somebody and you find out that they have, instead of saying they're lying through their teeth, you can say they're lying through their tooth. Their mom didn't have teeth, their dad didn't have teeth, their dog doesn't have teeth, then dental insurance may not be the biggest priority to them. But for the rest of us, people, again, we're a vain creature. We do, of course, we care about our health, but more than likely than not, we care about our appearances. Right. It is an easy sale. Like Sadie mentioned, selling right off the brochure. One of the biggest mistakes we make in just the ancillary market in general, and any ancillary product, is that we tend to overcomplicate things. And it actually comes whenever we know too much. We show up, we throw it. We want to show somebody how educated we are and how intelligent we are in a subject that we end up talking ourselves out of a sale. When it comes to dental insurance, no exception to any of that, making sure that you're talking about the benefits of owning that plan versus listing the features. Humans really remember less than 20% of what's said during a conversation, so they're not going to remember every single dollar amount, every single feature, every single little niche to that plan. But they are going to remember how that plan made them feel. They can relax knowing that if they do end up having to get a crown, they're not going to have to be in pain for months between paying for it or setting appointments. They don't have to worry about, if they do get a cavity, having to delay an appointment, or they can get to the dentist as soon as they need to. They can go to whatever dentist or optometrist, and I still don't know what a hearing doctor is called.
I don't either.
If somebody could tell me what a hearing doctor is called, I'll give you 5 bonus points. In the game, that doesn't matter. But anyways, you have to focus on how that plan and the reason, the why behind that plan. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't focus on the features of that plan. And that leads right into pick a company. We'll talk about what company we recommend, but pick one company. You do the hard work as the advisor. You pick out which company fits best, and then your clients shop the benefits. All these plans can be customized between 1 to 3 options. They need to shop what options they want to select. When it comes to dental, vision, hearing, it's, do you want it? Yes or no. It's not, do you want Mutual of Omaha's? Do you want Nat Gens? Do you want Manhattan Life's? It's, do you want dental, vision, hearing? Yes or no. And then you, as their advisor, walk them through the rest of the process. An audiologist? That makes sense.
That sounds right.
Audio and then ologist. There's an extra L on there too.
We could have figured that out.
Honestly, if I would have guessed,
yeah,
I would have guessed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Angela.
Thanks, Angela.
You're number 1 in our hearts. which is protected by good oral health.
Yes. Next slide.
Wrong way. All right, so we're going to get into the part where a lot of people really want to know the dirty deeds, because like I talked about in the beginning of this, we have over 12 companies, I think we counted out earlier, about 12 companies that offer some sort of dental, vision, and hearing benefit. And a lot of them kind of the same. That's why you don't shop carriers. A lot of them have really great features and some shortcomings as well. These are 3 of them, and we'll have one with an honorable mention, but these are the top 3 plans that Senior Marketing Specialist recommends. We're going to kind of walk through the pros and cons of each, but I want to put this disclaimer on there. This is we are being represented right now in all 50 states. So if what we're going to recommend for somebody in Wisconsin may be very different in Missouri, may be very different in Texas. So that's why we do recommend that you have the conversation with Clayton and our outreach team after this, because he'll look at not only your state, but he'll look at your current book of business, your preferred style of doing business, your selling methods, and help pair you with the plan that best makes sense for you. So we'll just go through a general overview about why we like each carrier, and then have that more in-depth conversation with Clayton afterwards.
So we broke down those 12 carriers and we came up with these 3, and we also have even one honorable mention. But the first one is Manhattan Life. Earlier, whenever we were talking to Matt Carson, he's the director of agent outreach, he called Manhattan Life the Swiss Army knife of dental plans. It's the jack of all trades. It is a true dental, vision, and hearing plan, which you won't see with other ones very often. One really cool thing about this is you can spend the money how you like it. So if you want to spend all of your money on the hearing portion or on the vision portion, you're able to do that. You can choose how you want to spend those money.
And that is something that I think is a huge, that's like my favorite part about Manhattan Life, because other carriers will say, okay, well, with Manhattan Life, I'm going to buy the $3,000 benefit, meaning that I get up to $3,000 every single year. Other carriers will say, okay, that's great, but you can only spend $700 on this or $900 on this, on the vision portion, on the hearing portion. Manhattan Life says, hey, this is your money. If you want to spend all $3,000 of it on getting new dentures, then spend all $3,000 of it on getting new dentures. If that's your prerogative, that's your choice. Literally the only one of its kind. Every single other plan that we talk about, any other plan that we have contracted with, sets limits on what you can spend on what service.
So as far as benefits go, this is probably our favorite. But there's always cons. We live in an imperfect world, so there's some flaws to this. One of those is that there's still some copays on cleanings, I think it is, which is something that there are other carriers, and you'll see the next 2. Those are paid 100%, I think. So there are some cons to it, but overall, this is a true DVH. We really like this plan.
Yeah, again, it's kind of if you are going to just mass send this out, if you just, what fits for the most people, Manhattan Life is going to be a one size fits all. There'll be very few and far in between that this isn't going to work for your client. Now, moving on to Mutual of Omaha. Mutual of Omaha, my number one reason why we represent them and why I talk about them is that brand name. A lot is to be said about a strong brand recognition, because it comes with an already just inherent sense of trust. Familiarity equals trust, and that's why branding is so important. Mutual of Omaha, people are familiar with Wild Kingdom. They're familiar with the product, so it just kind of helps make that sale for you. Even if they don't trust you, they trust the logo, they trust the company. So it really kind of takes on that life of its own, so to speak. Now, they do cover cleanings and x-rays 100% with no waiting period, which isn't that unique, but it is something, again, where they have a bit of a leg up on Manhattan Life. They also just recently released a new dental, vision, hearing plan that is very, very robust. So they are one that has come out swinging. Great product, but and again, just another reason why we like them and recommend them.
And also, as an agent, it's all one contract with that MedSup. So if you sell a lot of Mutual, this might be a good one just because it's easy to tack on. One less step that you have to do there.
Oh, for sure. And then last but not least is National General. Now, it's not showing it here, but National General, if you're in a state where they're very competitive for their MedSup, you might be familiar with them. National General, and I'm sorry if you guys can hear the sirens in the background. Someone's getting chased. But National General is traditionally they're a underage short-term medical. They also do MedSup in some areas. They were just recently purchased by I was gonna say, you're in good hands.
Yeah,
Allstate.
Allstate.
So they are, and they're getting ready to rebrand everything with the Allstate logo and with the Allstate branding. So they're about to become huge and making that transition from PNC to that health market. They're about to be a really well-known brand. So that's absolutely going to help with them.
Mm-hmm.
They're the newest to the DVH industry, to the DVH side, and they're by far the most unique plan. They're very customizable. And that can be a very positive thing. However, if something's extremely unique, it can also make it more complicated. So it is cool. If you compare National General to, say, Manhattan Life, apples to apples, something that National General does that's pretty unique is that in the second year of the policy, your benefit amount doubles just after the first year. So if you were to compare a $3,000 policy with Manhattan Life compared to a National General, that first year, you're only going to get $1,500. But if you keep that policy for the second year, it's actually going to be a lot cheaper to have that same $3,000 policy than it is going to be with Manhattan Life. A unique policy takes a little bit more explanation, and it is mainly dental. The hearing and the vision portion of it is basically a discount program. They really do focus on the dental benefits of owning that plan.
Mm-hmm. It's also one contract as well. So if you're writing a lot of Nat Gen, that's a positive as well. And the vision portion, I think the Vision Network is a Visas, which is a pretty well-known vision company, so or network, whatever you want to call that. So there's some name brand recognition in that small part of it too as well. So yeah.
So we talked about these are the three we recommend. We are going to give you our honorable mention, and that one is going to be Aetna. Now, Aetna, their dental vision hearing benefits are not as robust. The plan, if you compare them side by side to Manhattan Mutual or National General, they're just not going to compare up. The reason why we give them an honorable mention is actually twofold. Number one, Aetna's Medicare supplement is, I'm going to pull what's that, Zoolander, and it's so hot right now. Their med subs right now are killing it. They're super competitive and a lot of throughout the entire United States. What makes them really unique is that you can combine all of their products onto one application, making it really simple. If you are somebody that's selling a lot of Aetna's Medicare supplements right now, you can easily tack on a dental vision hearing policy with it, and it is a high quality product. But it's just maybe if you compare apples to apples, maybe it doesn't stack up. But you would not, you might be surprised on how much convenience and ease makes the sale. Convenience and ease is a product on its own, and Aetna has that covered. The other thing that gives them the honorable mention is if you are somebody who is selling over the phone or you belong to a call center, Aetna is by far the favorited company or favorited product by our virtual agencies or call centers because of ease. Everything we just talked about, but they are by far the number one written company for our telephonic sales and call centers. So again, in no particular order, Manhattan Life, Mutual of Omaha, National General, and then Aetna at the honorable mention. So this is what we need to talk about next. This is what you should be doing immediately after closing out of this webinar.
Yes, so you will be getting a call from our agent outreach. You'll be able to have that conversation. We'll call you. It says call senior marketing specialist, but if for whatever reason you don't get a phone call, go ahead and give us a call. Clayton will talk to you, kind of figure out what works best in your portfolio, what will work best for you, because nothing is one size fits all for the most part. So you can talk to him about that. And you want to choose that one carrier, and he can help you do that. Choose one carrier, you make the choice, and then just offer dental to your clients. So look at that, and then after that, get to selling.
Do it.
Yeah.
Just Shia LaBeouf, do it.
Yes.
But if you are interested in more training, you can go to smsteam.net, click on the training tab. We have a DVH product training on there as well to kind of help you with some additional tips and resources on how to sell it. And like Sadie mentioned on our first webinar, we've done a ton of different recorded webinars, including with National General and other companies, to kind of give more of a deep dive of what sets their plan apart. We're getting ready to do one with Cigna, and we actually have one planned with July 1st for Emeritus. So we are constantly, we promote, or we kind of try to do the legwork for you and give you the companies we recommend, but that doesn't mean that that's all that's available. So we have a ton of resources on there to get you to know the products and get you to know the companies even better.
Let's see. There we go.
So on that, guys, here we're going to open it up to questions, comments, concerns, threats, or promises. Let me know what you thought. Do you now just like, yes, DVH is the new way of life, you've had me sold? Or if you still have questions that aren't quite convinced that DVH is the way that you want to go, let me hear them. But we do really appreciate it. Again, make sure you take a look at Sadie. We're going to be sending out that post email with the recorded version of this webinar, just to make sure that if you guys did miss anything, or a client came in or something came up, that you do have all the resources that you need to be successful selling dental, vision, and hearing products.
I liked how earlier we had a couple people putting in our chat about how, oh, well, you didn't mention these carriers, but I've been using these for years, and I have found that I really like them. I thought that was really great that they mentioned that, because it really worked for them, really worked for their area. They gave a few reasons why they liked it, and it just kind of proved that, yeah, nothing is necessarily one size fits all.
I don't think there's a bad one out there. Somebody asked about the GTL DVH, and just keep in mind, GTL, their DVH is actually a rider to their hospital indemnity plan, and it's a great rider. I actually loved GTL is Guaranteed Trust Life. I love them. They are kind of the king of the ancillary markets, and their rider is great. Basically, the biggest thing is that you're educating your clients about how Medicare handles dental, vision, and hearing, and if they're uncomfortable with the risk that leaves them, help them out with one of these plans, a rider, a discount program. You just have to make sure you're having those conversations.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, it doesn't look like we have any questions. Do seriously appreciate everybody taking time today. We kept it to 30 minutes. Appreciate you guys spending time with us today to discuss dental, vision, hearing, and how senior marketing specialists can help you with that. So Cindy asks, does National General have a new dental copay we can quote tomorrow? They do have, so National General does have a new dental plan that, and again, they focus, there's in Missouri, Cindy, because I know you're Missouri, theirs is lacking on the vision side. So most plans, actually really the only plan that does have a vision benefit in Missouri is Manhattan Life. But Missouri's a hard state to get vision approved in.
It is.
But yeah, National General is in Missouri, so you can go ahead and start quoting that as well. Again, we can make sure you talk to Clayton to make sure that how you have access to that. Thank you. Awesome. Need dental only right now. So there is a company, call us, Cindy. There is a company that offers dental only. My thing would be NatGen. National General is a dental only product. So in Missouri it is. So with the discount program for hearing. So call us. We'll set you up. We'll let you know what's going on with NatGen.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right, guys, we appreciate your participation. We will see you next time. Everybody have a fun and safe Memorial Day weekend. Take lots of rest, spend time with your family. Unless you hate your family, then maybe don't do that. But have a great weekend. Thank you, guys.